Hello! You are watching another episode of Top 5, and today we will dive into the past. Throughout Earth's history, there have been 5 mass extinctions of animals due to global catastrophes, which led to the disappearance of entire species. We will now talk about all 5 of these cataclysms. Let's start in chronological order. Let's go! Opening the list is the Ordovician Silurian extinction, which occurred 440 million years ago. At that time, there was very little oxygen in the atmosphere and all animals lived in the oceans. Suddenly, a global catastrophe occurred, resulting in a relatively short period, during which 60% of marine animal species perished. There are 2 main theories regarding the cause of the catastrophe. One of them is a gamma-ray burst resulting from a star explosion located 6,000 light-years from Earth. In the arm of our galaxy, the gamma radiation reduced Earth's ozone layer by about half, exposing the organisms living on the planet to intense ultraviolet radiation. The second hypothesis for the mass extinction is the sharp reduction of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, which led to rapid glaciation of the planet. Only a third of the living organisms on Earth managed to survive it, including our ancestors, the first vertebrate creatures known as Astraspis. Had the Astraspis perished then, you wouldn't be watching this now. This video, let's move forward 76 million years to the era of the mass extinction at the end of the Devonian period, which occurred 364 million years ago. One of the largest extinctions in Earth's history of flora and fauna, resulting in the loss of nearly 75% of all species on Earth. There are many factors that led to such a global catastrophe. The main one, as strange as it may sound, is trees. Yes, it was indeed trees that caused the extinction of so many species. The fact is that previously Earth had a thin layer of soil covering the bedrock, but as deeply rooted plants and trees began to develop, they accelerated the formation of deep and nutrient-rich soil. For thousands of years, leaves fell onto the forest floor and formed the first layer of turf. Then the rains came and washed the soil into the seas. The waters grew, absorbed nutrients, and grew uncontrollably, depleting oxygen from the water. As a result, marine life began to suffocate, which triggered a mass extinction. The third place is held by the greatest extinction of all time, which occurred during the Permian period, 250 million years ago, leading to the disappearance of more than 95% of all living species. The cause was the most powerful volcanic eruptions in Earth's history, which occurred in Siberia and were accompanied by the release of toxic gases into the atmosphere. For millennia, lava erupted from the Earth and acid rain fell across the planet. Rainy! The situation was further exacerbated by the fact that at that time, all of Earth's continents were united, which made it impossible to contain the chain reaction of the catastrophe. Only a small group of animals managed to survive this apocalypse, including our closest ancestor at the time, the Trinaxodon. Let's move forward another 50 million years to the era of the Triassic extinction, a disaster that deeply affected life on Earth and almost turned our world into a desert-like planet, Mars. The catastrophe that erupted around the time of the first dinosaurs, nearly 200 million years ago, wiped out half of all species living on Earth. At that time, scientists proposed many hypotheses for the causes of the extinction, the main one being the same massive eruptions, volcanoes, especially the outpouring of basaltic lava in the Central Atlantic magmatic province, which released carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere. Lava erupted for many consecutive years, and Earth resembled a planet of hell. From space, one could see fissures stretching for thousands of kilometers. From modern-day Boston to Rio de Janeiro, the volume of erupted rock was incredibly massive. It is estimated to be about 2 million square kilometers of magma. It's a miracle that any animals managed to survive this apocalypse. Among the lucky ones were the first dinosaurs who, after the catastrophe ended, began to rapidly reproduce and evolve in the absence of competition. They spawned new species and eventually ruled the animal world for the next 140 million years, until an event occurred, which will be discussed next. So, the first place goes to the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, which wiped out the dinosaurs. The cause of this was the impact of a giant asteroid the size of Everest. The collision occurred in the area of the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico, creating a crater several kilometers deep. After the powerful explosion, whose force is comparable to millions of hydrogen bombs, hundreds of billions, tons of red-hot rock were hurled into space. 2 hours later, 90-meter waves hit the coast of what is now the United States of America, washing over the continent for 300 kilometers. Inland? Then fragments began to bombard the entire planet for several days. Fires raged everywhere. Weeks and months followed, during which smoke from the fires mixed in the air with the dust raised by the impact. Dinosaurs were unable to survive such conditions, unlike our ancestors. Tiny, furry mammals that lived in burrows inherited the Earth. But the first place for the Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction is not only because it was a decisive event that led to the existence of humanity today, and not only because it comes first in chronological order, but also because it was the fastest extinction in history. If in the past, mass extinction of species could last for millennia, here everything was decided literally in a few days. Which makes this extinction the absolute winner in our ranking. That's all. Like, subscribe to the channel, and watch the 2 previous videos. Top 5 scariest epidemics and 5 young maniacs.